ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our finally planet and Nakshatra series of Saturn, Shani, in the Nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada. And what happens when Saturn is sitting in its own Nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada. And especially if you realize I should have made this video end of last week or week and a half ago, and it tells you every single nakshatra of Saturn that I have done so far. Okay, whether it be Pushya, Anuradha, or this one, somehow they were all delayed. And it tells you, like, when you focus towards astrology, but not astrology actually, when you focus towards planets in the cosmos, that's when they really come alive and start communicating with you. Like, who are they all about? Like Moon Nakshatra, boom, got finished like that. Saturn is just like always just dragged me. So it's amazing. Like, when you really try to study the planets, they talk to you. They do tell you things. So anyway, we're going to be doing that nakshatra today. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this nakshatra Saturn here, and what other planetary placements you have, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So let's get started with Saturn in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So this is a nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, which is first of all controlled by Ahibunya. He is one of the celestial architects, and he's the one who designs everything within the universe. And this is a nakshatra obviously controlled by Saturn itself. And this is known as the next auspicious step. This is where in Purva Bhadrapada we tend to sink in as to what spirituality is, to sink in into our soul level, to sink in into what is this existence. And this is where we connect with our other self. We connect with our real self, known as our soul. This is why the symbolism of this nakshatra is the twins. Why the twins? Because, first of all, one part of the twin represents this physical, mechanical, biomechanical being that is me, that looks like me. Okay? Extremely handsome, good looking, charming, extremely intelligent, with PhD. Then there is the eternal soul. So here it represents these two sides of these twins. But twin also represents the polar opposite. Like a person who can be completely different from one way to the other. This is why Uttara Bhadrapada, like the two edged sword of Purva Bhadrapada, can be completely different. They can completely change themselves, and as much as these are the nakshatra related to, you know, the endings and the evolution of spirituality and moksha, this is where usually I have seen, I should have had their name, but I've seen quite a few of like serial killers within this nakshatra, because Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada represents a person who gives a one persona in the front, but the other twin is completely different. Like that guy, who was this guy, lawyer? Man, I always forget his name, and then I suddenly remember it. Jesus. He was a famous serial killer who was a law student. back in the 70s and was just killing and mutilating women. So he puts this charming lawyer persona in the front, but a completely different person in the back. That's like the bad side of this nakshatra. Remember, each nakshatra can represent good things and bad things. On the other side, Uttara Bhadrapada represents the work a person does after the fact. They are sunk into their spiritual self. Now they're like, okay, I know who I am. I know my soul is eternal. I know this is just a body. I know what the next place is waiting for me. However, let me spread the word now of letting people know exactly where you are and exactly where you are to go. You know, many a times we forget in our daily work life that, man, it's going to end. As much as I love this, I love making these videos, I love learning about astrology, back of my mind, I know, man, I gotta go. This is like a small journey that I'm taking. It's like a little break I am taking from my real existence, which is out in the black sea of eternity. That's where I've come from. That's where you've come from. We don't really usually take time to think about that because it brings fear. We become very fearful of that end, but it is coming. Every second that I talk, I'm getting closer and closer. And this is why Saturn rules this nakshatra. This is a nakshatra that reminds people who they are, reminds people what is it that they should be doing, reminds people that, look, this is all temporary. As much as you want to float in your cash money house and your luxury cars and your aim for that promotion and job, what does it mean? Nothing. Uttara Bhadrapada people, if you tell them, oh, I am a CEO and I'm a PhD in physics and I am a software programmer who has been doing it since 14 and I know everything about it, they will laugh at you. They'll be like, you don't know nothing. You are stupid. You think the physics that you know, you have known the universe, you don't have a clue. You are literally at 0.00000000002% of what physics really is. And you're calling yourself PhD. They're like, you have no clue why you're here. You don't know who you are. This is why these people become very harsh. Whether as teachers, counselors, mentors, parents, friends, they put you in your place many times. They're like, who in the world do you think you are? Oh, so you know calculus. Great. Oh, so you've got the Peace Prize Award. Nobel Peace Prize. Great. Are you God? Do you know anything about this existence? Nothing. And that's the illusion that these people come out of. Like, whatever I have learned so far, the things that I've accomplished, that I've discovered, first of all, there's no point of discovering those things. Why? Because they exist already. You think God does not know what you have discovered? It knows everything. And when you discover it, one of the pieces is like, what am I supposed to do? Reward you? No, I'm not going to reward you for something that everybody needs to know already, that their soul already knows. This is why great Mahatmas, great PhDs, discovery of this and that, die unexpectedly, die from cancer. They die in a painful death. Where's God watching them? Because they know nothing about existence. So Uttara Bhadrapada, in my opinion, is one of the highest of spiritual nakshatras. They know the bullshit that we deal with. I mean, if you think me doing these YouTube videos, me coming in front of you, oh God, astrology is saved and I am the special one. My goodness. I am like a speck into dust of nothing. And I will probably come back in next life watching my own videos thinking, oh my God, this guy's a great teacher. I'm glad he made all these videos. You see how oblivious I will be of my own existence? So it is this is the nakshatra that really either makes a person very good at knowing the human nature, or very good at being an architect of designing certain plans, spiritual plans, physical plans. Or these are the people who take advantage of the stupidity of people. This is why they become serial killers. They charm you in and they're like, oh, you're charmed in. Well, guess who I am? I'm not that little colleague that you thought I was. So it's like these twins that come out. But Saturn being in its own nakshatra, Saturn which represents your discipline, structure, organization, sacrifice, commitment, servants, paternal uncle, working class people, shows you always run into people who are somehow very brash in their nature about life. You probably also have an uncle or a servant who may have like a double personality or double lives, living double lives. Because remember that symbolism of twin. But there's another story of Kali, the sister of Saturn. See, Sun is Sun, the father of Saturn, like Sun, and Shani and Sun, Sunny and Shani. They're both the same. But this also really represents this great energy that sucks things in. Like they're the people who want to know the darker side of life. They're the people who will learn about Tantra. They're the people who are learning about ghosts and all kinds of demonic things. Because they want to know, they need to know what is this away from this BS of this physical world. Because physical world is nothing. If the greatest tsunami or an asteroid came, all your little institution of education, your degree, all the facilities will be wiped out. You're gone forever. Whatever work you have done means nothing. Absolutely zero. Remember that today. Whatever work you think you are doing and that you're so looking for praises, it means zero. See, that's zero. It means nothing. And it's quite exhilarating knowing this fact. That's what Saturn does. Saturn brings the practicality and reality in front of you with this nakshatra. Like, there's got to be more than this BS that I'm following. Following politics and TV and movies, nothing. Because this is a very small timing of the existence of the soul. See, your life that you're living is like this, minute. And you're making this thing like the biggest thing in your life. While your soul is so many light years old. That's Uttara Bhadrapada. Okay? So guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you don't know where your Saturn is placed, all my books, reports, consultations, for that check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.